The following program is powered by Ride the Wave Media.
Introducing the best podcast in Utah, Radio Daybreak. Here are your hosts, Blane and Becks.
Oh, yes. Here we go, baby. We are back again. I am back again. Just Blane here. Becks is actually on a women's retreat in Hawaii. So I'm doing this solo this week, but the interview will have Becks. Let me address something real quick. We had some people hit us up and say, hey, what happened to last week's show? We had one. We were live at the pop-up market at Novel Daybreak by Crescent Communities. I know the weather was beautiful. We still had some people show up. It was fun. It was nice out there. That's the last pop-up market of the year until after it gets cold again. We move into Soda Row next. So what happens then is the farmers markets are going live. I believe that's the first or second Saturday in June. We'll get the actual dates for that. We'll have Laura from Empowered Community Markets on with us again before that happens. We'll also be out there, Radio Daybreak, Ride the Wave Media. All the creators will be out at multiple farmers markets this summer, broadcasting live for you people. So we love it. We'll have you out there. If you see us, come talk to us. We'll put you on with us. It'd be awesome. Can't wait to do that. What also I cannot wait for is today's guest, Mike Agrelius, Daybreak's children's book author right here. He's also manager over at Nothing But Cakes, but that's the least. I even say it in the interview. I say that's the least top thing about him. So we got to get to that. One more note, Daybreak Business Community, the DBC, we are meeting at Harmon's upstairs for the rest of this month of April, probably May 2. Stay close to us for details on that. We've also got some mastermind events coming up. There's a workshop coming up. There's a field trip coming up Friday, April 26th. Let me make sure that date's right. April 26th, we're going to see Al and have Sunny at R5 Homes, and I think it's Saratoga Springs. So be on the lookout for that from the DBC. There's the Facebook group. Also, got to hit us up, radiodaybreak.com. Well, I don't think we have merch yet, but it will be coming soon. I got to show you guys something from our guest today. Mike Agrelius posted this today, and I'm just going to air this for you. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite people we've met. But he posted this. I guess it's a promo for his book. But check this out.
Why did the kid want a phone charger for his milk? Because the milk was only 2%. Did you know the British Psychological Society suggests that exposure to dad jokes boosts confidence and increases the overall intellect in kids? Most people can't guess the answer to this next dad joke. Can you? What's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bicycle and a poorly dressed man on a unicycle? A tire. Here are 3 reasons jokes can increase kids' communication skills and confidence. 1, if kids don't understand or know the answer, they have to ask a question. 2, when they ask a question, they have to listen to the answer. 3, their confidence goes up because they know something others don't, making them want to share with their friends. I've written 2 other children's books, and I wrote this one specifically to help dads communicate with their kids. Tag a dad that would like this. If you want a copy of the book, comment jokes to get on our pre-order list.
I love that. The other 2 books he's got, we talk about those in the interview. My kids, I'm not kidding when I say this, they love these books. They actually met Mike at the pop-up market and they got excited. They're like, he's the one that wrote these books? I'm going to stop talking about it. Let's get to the interview. Mike Agrelius. I can't wait for you guys to hear this. All right. Here he is. One of my favorite people we've met in Daybreak. We met him a couple months ago, Becks.
Yes.
He's got so many titles. Nothing but cake. But Nothing But Cake is like the furthest one from him. I don't even want to talk about that one today. Mike Agrelius is with us. What, poet, author, game designer, children's book writer.
Awesome dad jokes.
Yeah. What were you? A former travel executive? What else, Mike? What else can we throw in there?
Well, you won't believe it, but I actually did do stand-up comedy back in college.
Oh,
so.
What?
Yeah.
That, you know what? With all this stuff and this crazy, diverse, creative portfolio. Where did it start? Like, what was that initial creative spark? Where did that come from for you?
You know, I've got to say, I was born at a very young age, number one. Okay. And in Los Angeles, growing up there.
Let me set this up before people so they know what's going on. This is going to be filled with, you don't know if this is going in a joke or what's going on here. So go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I was born in Los Angeles. My mom was 100% Russian, so I'm 50% Russian. So English for my mom was kind of a second language. And that was a big reason why, because she told me how, you know, English is a kind of a tough language for people to learn, especially with all these words that sound the same and have totally different meanings.
Yeah.
And then when I was growing up, when I was a little kid, my aunt, her little sister, was 15 years younger than my mom, but only 10 years younger than me, or older than me. Yeah. And so my aunt would read me Dr. Seuss books, and that's, I think, where I got the love for books. And I always wanted to do my own little, kid books. And a few years back, I put those down on a vision board, and boom, here 5 years later, I've got 2 and almost 3 books out on the market. So.
Oh my word. And we want to talk about that. Oh, you got one there, Blane. I've got my copy too.
You can see just by the title, Hear What's Here. Dr. Seuss had a huge influence in this. We're going to get into this. We're going to read a little bit of this later. I love this book. My kids love this book.
My kids love this book, and my kids are 19. My babies are 19. So yours are a little younger, right, Blane?
Oh yeah. We got 4 and almost 2, but all ages though, right, Mike?
No,
that's how it goes.
Yeah,
it really is very true. And I need to get another couple copies from you next time I see you. So
all right, that's great. That's great.
So tell me about this upcoming. Yeah. Go ahead, Becks.
Children's book. Sorry, Blane.
Go ahead. Yeah.
We're just both so excited to talk to you today. Your upcoming children's book featuring bad dad jokes sounds awesome. So
thank you.
Give us a little sneak peek. What can we expect?
Well, you know what? I have an advanced copy right here.
Yes.
So this is what it's going to look like. Okay. I don't know how to do this because I'm not a pro. Like you guys. And it's going to be dad jokes. And it starts out like a regular rhyming children's book. Like my first 2 books, like Hear What's Here. If I can just give you like a couple lines. Hear What's Here goes, can you find a pair of pears? Do you see the sea? Would you like to stare at stairs or maybe be a bee? And it goes on like that. This one starts out with, why did the chicken cross the playground? In fact, that one's on the back cover. Why did the chicken cross the playground to get to the other slide? Yes, this is how it's going down, so hang on for the ride. And then it goes into some more rhymes. And it rhymes for the first 16 or so pages. And then it goes into a bunch of one-liners. And kind of the way it started was with this one joke that I heard. And now I've got to tell you that the difference between my dad joke book and other dad joke books are, number one, I have some rhymes in the front of it. And number 2, I have this fabulous artist who does these illustrations. And so you see the one on the top there. And on the top it says, what's the difference between a well-dressed man on a bicycle and a poorly dressed man on a unicycle? And the answer is a tire. And I love that riddle. And I thought I should do my next book should be dad jokes. And I had to find a way to make it kind of unique. And the way to make it unique was having these rhymes at the beginning and then having my friend Val Chadwick Bagley, who did my first 2 books with me, illustrate some of the jokes throughout the whole thing. Not every one of the more than 100 different riddles and rhymes have illustrations with them, but all the rhymey stuff does. So.
Most of them do, though. I have held a copy of this book. It's not the official. It's not the one.
No, it's not done yet. They're being shipped right now.
But I saw a pre-release version of this book, and it's incredible. I even told him, I was like, you got to get some stickers of this artwork, like for the kids.
Like, thank you. That's a good suggestion. I'm going to have to do that. Yeah,
it's incredible. This book, I'm telling you, I love it. I've seen most of the jokes in there. I've heard the jokes. I always chuckle at every single one of them. It's so funny. And you know what? I want to go back to the Here What's Here book, and he mentioned the English. I didn't know about the Russian and the English thing.
I know, that is fascinating.
If you look really, really closely here, he actually has the definitions of the words that are used in there. So like this one right here says, "Is this not a knot?" Well, he's got both variations of knot, and he's got them defined. And every page is pretty much like that. That's incredible, right?
I love that you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you shared that, your mom, some of that came from your mom learning.
My mom was the best mom ever. She was like a walking encyclopedia too. I mean, here's a lady that never went to college, okay, but she was a typist, and she loved the English language and all the little nuances that were there. And she taught me some Russian. She wanted to teach me more, but back then it was, Russia was, they were the bad guys with Khrushchev. That was way back when. I guess it's really improved now with Putin. So
they're the good guys with Putin now, right? Is that how? Look at this though. Let's not forget about the sequel here.
Oh yeah,
Elephant Glue. Now this one is just as clever. Like I've read this one. I've looked through it. It's
my wife likes that one better. She says this one, the Elephant Glue one, has a storyline. I said, nah, it's got more of a punchline.
Yeah, okay.
That's just a goofy, rhymey book. But little kids, it empowers little kids. I was at a Barnes and Noble doing a book signing a while ago. I had a little 4-year-old come up with her 8-year-old sibling, and the 8-year-old said, "Let's read this book together." And they came to the first page of Elephant Glue, and it has a rhinoceros on the very first page. And in fact, let's see.
Oh, that Blane.
Here. That's on the Elephant Glue page. The
Elephant Glue one here. Yeah, you can show it, Blane, or I can show it.
I got it, I think, right here. That's a rhinoceros, you said? This
here. Yeah, first page. So there you go. So, and the little 4-year-old said, "That's too big a word," when she saw the word rhinoceros. And the 8-year-old said, without me prompting or anything, said, "Well, what are those two animals?" "Well, that's a monkey and that's a rhino." Well, and the 8-year-old said, "Well, what do you think the word is that starts with an R?" And the 4-year-old started to say rhinoceros or rhino, and then she realized it was a much bigger word. So she said, "Is it rhinoceros?" And she was so proud of the fact that she got it right. There's other big words in there like crocodile and hippopotamus and stuff like that. But it just kind of encourages kids to do some sight looking at, what the context is, and not just try to figure it out from the words.
And stretch their vocabulary, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, hippopotamus in there. That's a giant word there. I mean,
well, can I read you a little bit of the first part of Whatever Floats Your Goat?
Absolutely, and that's the name of the new book. I wanted to throw that in there because we missed that, but that's the name of the
new one. Whatever Floats Your Goat, and it goes like I said. Why did the chicken cross the playground to get to the other slide? Yes, this is how it's going down. So hang on for the ride. What has more lives? Oops, I got to get back out here. No, over here. What has more lives than a cat? At least that's what they say. A bullfrog, because it's a fact. They croak each and every day. And that it goes on kind of like that with the little rhymes and stuff. And then it says, think of a riddle your gramps would tell about a kid out on a boat. And the punchline he would sell, whatever floats your goat, which is where the title came from. And it's a Kickstarter right now. We've only been 1 week in fact, tomorrow is the first week into the Kickstarter. We've already passed our goal up. But if some of your viewers, listeners want to, go to my Facebook page at Happy Valley Publishers on Facebook, Happy Valley Publishers. Please like that page. That's number one, and or follow it. And then number two, if they want to just pledge $1 or $2, that'll help with the matrix in Kickstarter so that it'll rise to the top when people go to search children's books.
I love that. And that's Happy Valley Publishing. Mike, that's your publishing company, right?
Happy Valley Publishers. Yes. I that's an imprint I did. Okay. This is going to tell you how stinking old I am.
Oh, no, let me tell you.
1978.
Okay. And then you kept doing stuff for Happy Valley. And in 1986, you had Why Wait Till I'm Dead? That's a poetry book, I believe. And then you had what was the other one? Buy one, get one free. You had Beyond the Laughter Comes a Poet. Also a game designer. Count Your Blessings.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
You did Count Your
I've
Blessings,
done
Do
some
What Is
games.
Right. What else you had? Missionary Blues, Abstracts.
Yeah, Abstracts.
We've got to talk about Abstracts, the
right
game
here.
of absurd logic.
Yeah.
We know that you were on David Letterman's show for that, right?
Well, yeah. What happened was that when that game came out, I like to promote stuff. Okay, so I found out that Dan Quayle was going to be at Utah Valley University, which is called something different. And so I paid $50 to get a picture of me with handing Dan Quayle a copy of the game. And then I took that picture with me to the New York Toy Fair when the game was introduced. Well, Dan Quayle was one of the people, your guest famous people, places, and things back based on abstract clues. That's how the game is played. And Dan Quayle was one of the famous people in the game. And when David Letterman came by the booth and saw that Dan Quayle was holding up this game at the booth, he goes, "Wow, what's this all about?" Because he didn't like Dan Quayle.
Exactly. I know the background. I wasn't around. Well, I guess I was around right then, but
you were around.
Yeah, they didn't. He didn't like him so much. They were both from Indiana, and anyway, so he says to Dan Quayle, he says, "So is this game just for Republicans?" No. Is this game just for really dumb guys? Because he didn't like Dan Quayle. Anyway, it got put on the David Letterman show, and it ran. In fact, there was a couple of different repeats, and I could tell when it ran. This was before social media and stuff, but when it ran, sales for the games would go up. At FAO Schwartz, where it was sold, and at Neiman Marcus and other stores and stuff like that.
I feel like there's, the game 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yes. Absolutely.
I feel like there should be a new game called, 7 Degrees of Mike Agrelius.
Thanks.
It wouldn't have to go.
And am I saying your last name correctly as well?
Agrelius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any? You have some other plays on your name though? It's right. You have Agrelius. Are you using Agrelius or something like that?
I use Agrelius for my poetry books. Yeah. And then Michael Agrelius when I'm in trouble. So that's about it.
Okay, so that comes back to bite you.
I want to hear a poem. I want to hear something good right here, just off the top of your head.
Oh my heck! Off the top of my head, I'm better with the dad jokes, Blane. I'm better with the dad jokes. Why do people paint Easter eggs?
Why?
Because it's so much easier than wallpapering them.
Oh. I love it. They don't get old. These jokes don't get old. I mean, I'm a dad.
Here's your Christmas one. All right.
All right.
The Christmas one. All right. So how much did Santa's new sleigh cost?
How much?
Nothing. It was on the house.
Okay. All right.
Got them both in there.
Hey, so you got a lot of jokes built around looks like holidays and stuff.
Holidays.
No, they're just all kinds of jokes. I mean, one of my faves, somebody, and the way I got a lot of these jokes, like I was in an elevator one day going upstairs to visit somebody in the hospital. Okay. And as I'm going up, I said, anybody got a dad joke for me? And this one lady says, "Oh, I got one." And she told me one. I'd never heard it before. I said, "Can I put it in my book?" And she said, "Sure." It was, "Why don't pirates shower?"
Why?
Because they usually just wash up on shore. I loved it.
Yeah.
And then there's one that, and I had never heard it before, so I put it in. Then there's one that everybody's heard before, probably. How much do pirates pay for corn?
How much?
About $1 an ear.
Okay. Yes. That was more familiar. That was definitely more familiar. With you having all these dad jokes and stuff, though, you got to be a family man, right? Like this has got to be.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of hinting at when I said you got a lot of jokes that revolve around the holidays, and I just I kind of paint holidays with family, and you seem like
Well, we got a big family. Okay. So I have 4 kids. My wife has 6 kids. So between us, we have 10 kids.
You beat me out. Wow. That's hard to do.
And between us, we have 17 grandkids. So.
Oh, how fun.
Grandkids are way more fun than the regular kids, I hear, because you can always
That's
leave
right.
them.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Here, have all this sugar and I'm leaving now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah. But that's
So
that's incredible. Yeah, go ahead.
Did your family, like, did your fathers or your grandfathers or, that have any sort of play into your work and dad jokes? Did you guys?
My dad's a funny guy. My dad's still alive. He's 95.
Oh, wow.
In fact, it was his 90th birthday that inspired me to really want to do my first kid book. So when he was 90, he asked me. He was a veteran of the Korean War. Okay, and he said, I want you to read a book before you come down to my birthday party. And it was a book about Korea and the Korean War. Wow. And I started reading it, but literally I had nightmares. Mm-hmm. And so I decided I'm going to listen to the audio version. Maybe it'll be better. And so I called the library and they said they had a copy. So I went in, and while I was waiting to see if they had a copy, I noticed that to one side of me was a book that said Yoga for Old People. And next to it was a book that said Yoga for Babies. And on the other side, it was Yoga for Dogs. I kid you not. And I said, if this is the kind of stuff we're promoting in the library, I think I should do that kid book. So I called my friend Val and I said, hey, I'm going to go for that book. And he said, I'm in. So we did it. And that was 5 years ago. And so now we have Hear What's Here, Elephant Glue. And before Father's Day, whatever floats your boat will be out too.
That's the official release date. Is right around. It's going to be
just the week before, like a week or two before Father's Day. It should be.
So
they're already printed and they're ready to go. And in fact, I think they're being shipped this week. So
I saw that you posted a picture and it was a giant. What, a pallet? Is that what you want to call it?
Yeah, we got several pallets.
I saw that on your page.
Yeah,
I bet you've already got that whole pallet sold. I feel it's got to be.
Yeah, because I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, you're gonna
put that in all my gift baskets.
We should do that. We should absolutely do that. Mike, what else, man? I feel like there's a whole interview I want to do with you about the board games. No, not even kidding you. Not even kidding.
Okay,
I want to talk about
I'll tell you what. That's so interesting you'd say that. Abstracts. I've done 8 different board games and card games over the years, okay? Including Made in the USA, which is a little card game that I did 2 days after 9/11, just to kind of honor the first responders and the military people. And I would love to talk to you about abstracts. I need to find someone to finish off an app for the abstracts game. It's so if somebody happens to want to help me with an app, I've got it 3/4 of the way done, but I need to finish it off and monetize it too.
I love that. Let's see if we can figure that out.
I know a couple of people. I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. And then, like I said, I'd love to talk to you again all about the board games, video games, maybe even. I feel like you might even be a video game.
I don't know video games. I know.
If you don't know, we could put a controller in your hands, and I think you would. There's something
a whole
to
different world.
There is. There's a bunch of games out there that there are game designers. Like that's what you do. It's somebody who might have designed.
I used to be the director of Game Inventors of America. So
there you go. You got a whole story. I got to bring you on my video game podcast, and we'll talk board games. We'll talk all that stuff. I love it. Okay. What else do you want to talk about with the books? You got anything else that we left out?
I'll give you a little thing that I learned. Okay, because the first 2 books were just poems I wrote when I was in high school. Okay, for my little brother. And they were pretty easy, and my friend just did the illustrations real quick, and we got them out real quick. This last book, even though a lot of it is just borrowed stuff from dad jokes from all over the place, that I did a lot of research on jokes for the last year on dad jokes. Here's what I found out: 2 major articles, one in the Wall Street Journal, and one in a thing called the British Psychological Society. Both state that kids that are exposed to dad jokes have better communication skills and an overall higher intellect. And the reason for that is if kids don't understand why it's funny or what a word means, like one of the ones I read you was croak. They might relate that to frogs, but they don't know why it's a funny joke. Well, why is that funny, Mom and Dad? And then the communication channels open, they're receptive to learning, and they continue to ask questions throughout their life.
Oh, I like that.
They stay
That is
curious.
awesome.
They stay curious.
I was blessed to have a funny dad and a mom who loved the English language. And so that's how I kept asking questions all the time. And Mom was my own private dictionary and thesaurus,
I love that. And I love that really shows in your work throughout your life.
Thanks.
I mean, look at the impact. Just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it really is. And we've known you for a couple months. And before we go, I want to get you to do your 42-second.
I could do that for you.
I want that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This is the entire book of Hear What's Here without the definitions or the cute illustrations, which Val does a great job with the illustrations. Are you going to time me, Becks?
Start timer.
Okay. Can you find a pair of pears? Do you see the sea? Would you like to stare at stairs or maybe be a bee? Do you think the deer's a deer? Is this not a knot? Tell me what you hear here. Last night the night got caught. Have you heard a whale wail or seen a hare with hair? Do you think this pail is pale? Is that bear all bare? Which is my favorite illustration. Does the horse sound horse to you? Sailor, sail, you can't. Has that one or two? Is that ant an ant? Did you see the flea? The maid has made the bed. That hole does not look whole to me. Have you read what's read? Can you find a pair of pears? Do you hear what's here? These are more than just mere words. These are words that mirror. How'd I do? What's the time?
You're under a minute.
I timed it. You were at about 38 seconds, actually.
Yep.
You came in under.
Yeah.
I love that. And you even
think
had
about those two words, whole and whole. Okay.
Yeah.
One means empty, void of things, and the other means everything, complete. And they sound exactly the same. And people say, well, one has a W. Well, I can't see the W when we're talking.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
The English language is wacky.
It is. It really is. And I love what you did with I'm looking at it right now. Hear What's Here. That book, I'm telling you, I enjoy it. Just looking through it. And then I'm going to read it to my kids over and over and over. Beck's
cool.
19-year-olds love these books.
It's true. They do.
It's seriously for all ages. You're here for all ages. Literally, this is one thing I can sign off on that's for all ages. Mike Agrelius, Agrelius. We had a little mix of both right there at the end. You had the live reading of his book. I like that. Thank you for joining us here. We're going to be talking to you more. I really do appreciate getting to know you over the last couple months and getting to know you even more. I really do. Can't wait to get to see more of what you do because I know
pledge $1 on my Kickstarter. Just pledge $1. That's all I want.
We absolutely will.
I've already pledged mine. We'll make sure we get the link up in the show notes for this. Anything else we can do to help you, let us know because I'm serious.
I appreciate you guys. I love it, and I will be at some of the farmers markets over in Daybreak this year. So
we'll be out there. Hey,
we'll be there.
He was at the pop-up market with us a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Came over, told a couple jokes, said, I'm going to take a nap. He sat there and he really did. I think he fell asleep for about 15 minutes and then he got up and left.
I am old. What can I say?
I didn't say anything.
Isn't it my nap time? I don't think old has anything to do with it unless I am old. Maybe.
No, I thought it was perfect. He walked up, literally told about 3 to 5 jokes, great ones, and then said he's going to take a nap. I had no problem with it. I thought it was great. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Take care.
Oh my gosh, just an incredible interview with an incredible dude, Mike Agrelius. Super talented. I'm telling you, these books are amazing. If you want to back that Kickstarter he's talking about, I'll put the link up. You actually just go to Kickstarter.com. If you search Mike Agrelius, it'll pop up for you. This is what it looks like right here. I just want you to see, though, he's already met the goal, but that doesn't mean anything. push him some money, $1, $2, whatever it is, because it'll put the algorithm, it'll bump up on Kickstarter for him, and it'll also let him know that you're interested in this book. You're not interested in this book. Why? What's wrong with you? No, I'm kidding. But the artwork is incredible. The kids will love this book. Dads will love this book. The jokes he acquired these jokes over the years from around the world. Really, he told me he got sent in Mexico when he was down there just a couple weeks back. Look, I gotta tell you, I've seen a preview of this book, and I love it. I can't wait for it to come out. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Agrelius, the poet. I love that part about him too. We'll talk to him again soon, man, and see how it's going. He's going to have multiple books out coming soon. And if you need anything from Radio Daybreak or from Ride the Wave Media, find us on social media at Ride the Wave Media, at Radio Daybreak. See you guys next week.